Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Vape Talk episode 198. We are a mere 2 episodes from the big 200. Lovely for you to join us. Today, we have Mr. Chris JB.
Hello. 2 seconds. For some reason, I've got Hangouts coming through my headphones and you coming through my TV.
Weird. Did you pause the stream?
No, I didn't, but it shouldn't be coming out the TV anyway. It should be coming out my headphones, even if it did come on.
That's very strange.
Technology.
So we have Chris today, and we have Mr. Chandler. Mark is being a massive slacker and has decided to holiday abroad.
That is just it's disgraceful.
Cheeky cunt.
Yeah, so he won't be here this week or next week, but we've decided that we're going to have very special guest for episode 200, Mr. Mark Dolan. He's going to return. If you don't know who he is, he makes juice. And if you want him back, actually, if you don't want him back, stick £5 in the super chat.
Yeah, there you go.
We did this when we were offering up Stu to leave, and we ended up with $7,000.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Incredible.
Paid for a night out at hang on, you told me that it was just enough to pay it for a night out at Frankie and Benny's.
Oh yeah, I mean £70.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's why they all drive new cars now, Chandler.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what kind of new car you can get for $7,000, split between 3, but
split between 2. We didn't tell Chandler about it.
So yeah, Mark won't be back this week. He won't be back next week. He might have been on the show tonight if I hadn't accidentally ejected him from the Hangouts, and now he can't get back in. So,
have you tried inviting him and that's not working?
I don't know where to invite him from.
I'm still super excited about having this second camera option.
Yeah, Chris has discovered that he can have 2 cameras at once.
Yeah, and it's my phone though. Oh shit, I forget which way. That way. Have you seen this?
Are we advertising Coca-Cola now?
Nah, it's pretty shit to be fair, but it's
what's that Coca-Cola energy drink? What the hell?
Yeah.
What?
It tastes like roller cola. If you're familiar with the term.
Oh, that's like the worst type of cola.
So it tastes like cheap cola. Oh, that is genius.
But it's
genius.
It's got no taurine. Not that means anything to me.
You know what taurine is, don't you?
I thought taurine was the stimulant in it anyway.
Isn't taurine like...
It's synthetic bull sperm. Oh, no. Chris has muted himself. Something's gone horribly wrong because we can't hear him. I actually genuinely thought we just lost everything there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah, we can now.
Yeah, no, have you seen, is it Role Models? The film where they're selling an energy drink called Minotaur. And the guy's having a breakup with his missus, and he has a bit of a breakdown, like in the middle of a school assembly. And he's like, "Don't buy this shit; it's radioactive horse piss." And then I laughed and I googled it, and actually, it does contain some sort of bull piss or cow piss or some shit.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, what, gentlemen, are we vaping on?
I was vaping on a mech mod today.
What?
Do you know what? I've had a really nice day. I left the house at like 8 o'clock this morning. I went down to do the school run. I met up with a friend of mine. I've not seen her for ages. And we went back to hers, had a coffee, and she's like, I'm waiting for some shopping. The shopping came, and she was like, right, we'll go for a walk. Went down to the castle grounds. We sat there, had breakfast. Just like a parent's day. Do you know what I mean? It was so fucking weird. I feel like, the mums that all meet in the school playground and talk for an hour after their kids had gone in.
Yeah.
I felt like one of them. But yeah, it was really nice. I got a bit of a sunburn.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been really nice. But yeah, I had a mech mod on me, but it was a bit unsociable to use it. Like she smokes, but I don't know. I felt a bit antisocial using it, which is a bit weird. Like I found that's a thing now. When you're in because it's not like it's like a outdoor. It's like a beer garden, but for a cafe.
Yeah.
So I just felt really out of place. I felt out of place using like an Orion there. But yeah, I just wasn't blasting the cloud. So I had a fuck about it when I got home and set the smoke alarms off twice.
Do you ever find when you sat in a beer garden, you're having a vape, it always blows into the people that are nearest you? The whole place could be empty, but the one table next to you is where it happens to be blowing.
It always seems to blow at the people that look like they're going to be most annoyed by it hitting them.
Yeah, always. Doesn't matter where you are, beer garden or no. It always goes. And I always feel bad every time, even if I'm at an event and I blow a cloud and it goes into someone's face. I'm like, oh shit, sorry. And they're like,
yeah,
no, it's vape, it's fine. But I still apologise.
I had to get new goggles and all. My lovely child decided to snap the arm off one, and because I had quite big lenses, she said I can cut them down and stick them in a smaller one. Now the only frames they had that had the similar size lenses were super dry, 230 quid pair. And I said, I'm not paying that. I said I want something cheap.
Could they not just repair them?
No, it was I got the glasses framed from China because it had this really cool feature. There was hidden magnets behind these bits, right? And there was clip-on like screens.
Yeah, seen that.
There was like 4 different types of shades, and then there was the yellow one for driving at night. So I got that because it was so inconspicuous. Like it looked like a pair of sunglasses with the clip-on, and it looked like a pair of glasses with it off. So I didn't look like a knob. I hate those people, the ones that you used to see when you was a kid, that the Mickey Mouse bits.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't down for that. So yeah, I got them, and because of the way they were manufactured out in China or Japan or wherever they were from, they weren't able to fix them. So so I had the option of a similar one that cost 230 quid, or these, which were supposed to be 130 quid, and she gave them to me for 20 quid because they'd been sitting in the back of this drawer for about 10 years.
Amazing.
But the funny thing is, they've gone out of fashion and now they're back in fashion during that time. So actually, I got a steal. These are actually quite nice glasses. But yeah, that was my stress for the week. But yeah, so apart from that, I'm vaping the Orion. In that, I've got a combination of Mr. Salt, strawberry and lemon, strawberry lemonade, and that dodgy rhubarb stuff I knocked up a couple of months back.
The rhubarb and strawberry or whatever it was.
Yeah, because it was so harsh. Because it was way too much PG. I thought, do you know what? I've got half a bottle of this. I'll whack this in it, give it a shake, see what happens. And it's actually not bad. It mainly tastes like rhubarb, but it's still nice. It's all right.
There you go.
Chandler.
Open on Chandler, yeah.
I have got my Vicious Ant with the Berserker 1.5 mini on the top. I found out why there was no tank sent with it. Apparently, because of British TPD regulations, you know how they do with a bubble glass? You get it in a separate box.
Yeah.
They've done the same with this. So the metal tank section, because it makes it 2.5 mil or whatever, in the UK, it's going to come in a separate white box.
Are they going to send you one?
And they're going to send me one. I emailed Vandy Vape, and they went, "Oh, they must have forgotten to give you the white box. We'll send you one out."
Brilliant.
So they're posting me. It's probably coming from China, so I'll probably get it in for about episode 210.
Do we class that as free shit?
Sorry? That's not necessarily free shit because it should have come with it when I bought it, so it should have been included with
it. Technically, by law, it shouldn't have come with it. So actually, I would.
And we've lost your audio again.
Yeah, I can't hear you, dude. It just sort of pinged out.
No, lost you. No, that's okay. I don't
know.
Oh. Yeah. I was going to say I didn't mind the audio going because you were taking the piss out of me for getting
free shit. No. I was saying technically it's a win. You've got free shit.
Yeah.
I actually turned down free shit.
What?
I turned down free shit.
But you're a vapor. Who does that? I
don't know. I don't know if you know. I'm doing a project with Paul Harrison, the Pandemonium.
Mm-hmm.
Have I showed you guys this properly? Do you want to see it? Should we do this? Should we add this to the show? Let Kath do what he's vaping on. I'm going to go get it, and then you can we'll discuss it after.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll stick it in after the news.
Yeah, man.
Let's do it.
We'll do it after the news.
After the news.
Oh, he's gone.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to get it.
Oh, right. Okay, fine.
I'll be 2 seconds. I need to do this because it's going to have to do some digging, and I don't want to wake the child up. So while he's still in bed and not quite asleep yet, I'll get it out of the way.
You can do the digging first. That's fine. Fair enough. Yeah, so I've got the tank coming for that, but it's great as mouth to lung, and I might not be vaping on this too much because I've just realised the battery wants changing, and I've left my freshly charged 350s are in my bag over there. So I might fetch them in a minute, but I've put it into charge, so there's no battery in it.
Fair enough.
And are you ready for this?
I don't know if I am.
I've got a new mod, and I've got a new Atty.
Is that a Noisy Cricket V2 I saw?
Noisy Cricket V2, because my old Noisy Cricket just my love of my life, my old Noisy Cricket stopped recognizing the Atty on the top and just wouldn't fire it.
You know, it's a sign of a good mod though when you go out and buy one immediately after it dies.
Yes. Yeah, and but I didn't get it immediately after it died because I couldn't find any. But I then found some on Amazon. There's somebody on Amazon selling them for £24.50, and I'm like, I'll have that, thank you. So Noisy Cricket, and on the top, I've got a Scrape Enduro.
That's amazing.
How's that?
So cool.
High-end, expensive Atty on a budget, cheap mod, but I think it looks quite handy on that. I've got the direct lung setup rather than an Atty that size is a bit overkill for mouth to lung, don't you think?
Yeah, but what's underneath it? Is it just deck underneath it?
Underneath
the tank, or is it like hidden tank section that you can't see?
No, you've got.
Fuck off! What is that sorcery?
Wait, I'm missing this. Show me.
Just to do that again, Chandler. Do that again. I was like, oh yeah, what's that? Is it like hidden tank section? Is that all deck? And I was thinking, oh, he's got to unscrew the bad boy to get it open or whatever, and he just goes wonk. And I was just like, what the hell? So what's stopping the juice feed?
The juice feed. Can you see? There's 2 little holes there.
Yeah.
The 2 black rings.
Yeah.
There are 2 black. See the 2 holes there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that grey bit inside there actually swivels around inside there.
Oh.
So at the moment, those are closed, so that the juice feed doesn't come down. But to get the juice going, if I line this up, you drop it on, and then give it a twist, so that now those holes line up. So now the juice is coming down to your wicks.
That's disgusting.
It's clever, isn't it? So you don't actually have to unscrew it. You can literally just.
Like, oh, it's burnt, but I've got a full tank of juice. Never mind. Yeah. I will just remove it.
Full tank of juice. Pop it off. The bizarre thing is, you could. What got me is I've been. It's today is the. I've had it 5 days. Today's the first day that I've re-wicked it and actually gone, oh well, actually I can fill the tank up before I put it on.
Do you know what? That's the first thing I've seen in a long time that I think I want that.
It is.
How much was
it? This, if you buy it, you can get it from Creme de Vape.
So it's about £30 million then.
It's $129.95. But that is the TPD 2mm version. You can buy a skinny chimney, because the way they do it is the chimney section on the inside.
I want that one. I don't want no fucking skinny chimney bolt. I want that one.
So you have to pay another $14.95 to get the 5mm chimney.
Oh, fuck off!
I got this one.
Did you pay £129 for it?
No, this was on the SV would like to buy page. So I got it for 85 quid.
Only 85 quid.
Only 85 quid.
Oh, by the way, Stuart Legg has said that if you send him his Noisy Cricket, he'll fix it for you.
You can fix it for me?
That's what he's just said in chat. So anyway, my turn.
I am. You're on,
will-
Stuart. Sorry. Yes, go on, Kaz. What might you be shoving in your facial orifice and sucking on today?
Your mother. Right. So I've got my trusty mini gusto. Chris has gone silent again, which is hilarious.
We can lip read though. We knew what that last word was.
Right. Sorry. Quickly. Before, is that a Fallout picture behind you?
Oh, that way. Yes, it is.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Can we get closer? Can we see it closer?
I will bring it to you.
Do it. I really want to see it. It looks fucking amazing.
Oh, I've only done this one, like, left corner.
Oh shit.
Wait, I gotta put my headphones on. 2 seconds.
Wait. Hang on. Let me. Why is it not? Oh, okay. Let me have a look.
Fucking amazing.
Oh, look at that.
I haven't actually done
Tell her I'll give her 20 quid, a packet of Haribo, 2 packs of playing cards, and a high five for it.
He said he'll give you 20 quid, 2 packs of Haribo, some playing cards, and a high five for it. A crisp high five.
When it's
It
done,
will-
obviously.
It will depend on the pack of playing cards. What about those gold ones that you've got? You know.
Why ignore that?
because I haven't redone that bit yet, and I haven't finished the writing on there. I've only really redone on that bit.
You-
So she did it, and then she decided that she wanted to go over it again with oil paint.
Yeah,
So she's doing it over again.
that's why there's like black splodges, because I had my hand and I went like that.
It looks like it's part of the design, to be fair.
Black splodges look cool, actually. Looks part of it.
If you have a look at the top left-hand corner, just above Vault Boy, it looks like fucking the Red Skull's face hidden in the clouds.
Do you want to see the Bioshock one quickly?
Have you got a Bioshock one?
Oh
This one
man!
is finished, and this will blow your mind.
Holy fuck. Does she take commissions?
Yes. Do you take commissions?
I can do.
She says she can do.
What are her prices like? That's the first question.
Depends what it is and how big you want it.
I want the Joker from Killing Joke.
Oh, that would be awesome.
What we'll do is we'll sort out some messages and send
Yeah.
it over.
Fuck yeah, that's sick.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Chris just
I'd,
fuck.
Oh,
I'd wank my dad off for that.
Oh my god! Yeah, don't tell her that, Kaz. Don't tell her that, Kaz. Kaz, no, don't.
He just said he'd wank his dad off for that.
Oh, for God's sake.
I mean, if she wants some cheap entertainment, it'll just cost her that picture, and I'll send her the video. Not that it's happened yet.
He's just got it there stored up just in case.
I've just realised my glasses are like yours, but with a rim at the bottom.
Yeah, mine have got a rim. It's just a metal rim.
Oh, is it? Oh, it looks clear.
Oh dear. Anyway, right.
Yes, back to vaping.
Back to the thing we're here for. Right, so I've got my super cheeky Minikin V2 with the Berserker on top. Oh, I don't.
Can you do me a favour? Can you do like a sticky label, right? And get her to draw the Poundland logo on it and stick it on the side.
On the side.
Yeah.
Oh. Right, mate. No. Alan's just said I've seen his dad. Anyway, yeah. So I've got Berserker. I don't remember what's in there, but when that runs out, I'm going to be using the Pod Salts Cali Greens Amnesia Mango in it, which is actually quite nice. Yeah, your voice is gone again, Chris.
I'm still here, by the way. I just realised I haven't sorted out my
Okay.
my thingies.
So yeah, the Amnesia Mango Cali Greens will go in there when that's finished. Not really my thing, but I thought I'd give it a shot. I've got to review it this week. So I can hear you now.
Yeah, can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
I was saying, what was that juice called? Fucking right mouthful that was.
Pod Salts Cali Greens Amnesia Mango. It's basically mango and weed.
I was gonna say that sounds like a strain of cannabis.
Yeah. So I'm going to be putting that in there once that's finished.
Does it have any CBD in it or anything?
No, it's purely just flavoring.
So what I want to know is what the fuck they've added to it to try and establish a weed flavor.
Oh, terpenes of some sort.
It'll definitely be terpenes. And I've got my mini fit in that. I've got Nasty Salts bronze tobacco, which is like a really actually a really nice caramel tobacco. And considering 90% of what Nasty Salt make is an utter coil killer, this just isn't. So
Did you say you got bronze? You got the bronze in your
bronze in the mini fit at the moment.
mini fit? I got the bronze. I didn't say I got the bronze in my Berserker. That's what I'm vaping on in there.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very nice.
Did you try the silver?
Yes, that's good as well.
Is that Nasty Juices tobacco line?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really
silver.
good.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The silver's actually the vanilla, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
I actually
bought a few more bottles at Expo. So
yeah, I actually prefer the vanilla to the bronze one.
okay.
So
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm vaping on. I might have a couple of puffs on the old Falcon on the squid, but it's super cloudy, so I'll probably get one puff and the alarms will go off. Right, I will be back in literally 2 seconds. You guys continue with the thing that you're going to show them, Chris.
all right, so it's just me then.
No, Chris is there.
Is Chris there? He seems to have gone. It's fine.
We keep losing him. We keep losing him.
We keep losing him completely. So
you ever seen Mock the Week where it's one voice over another? So Chris just holds stuff up and then Chandler can commentate it.
yes, that would be quite awesome. That would be.
All right. BRB.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, you're there. I can
Right.
hear you.
Yeah,
Go
I
on,
sent a picture to the group chat.
Oh.
Can you identify that by any chance?
What's in the group chat?
Yeah, the picture I sent you.
Can I identify it?
And if you just say what's written on the side, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say what's written on the side.
do you know what it is though? Have you ever seen one before?
It looks. I was about to say it's a pair of nasal hair removers.
No, it's a mod.
Oh, it's a mod. Oh, I thought it was for getting your ear hair out of your ears. Or
It
something
looks like one, doesn't it?
a little bit.
At my friend's house earlier, it was just on the side. It's her husband's, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And she's like, "I don't know."
Yeah, I've not seen that before.
So that whole plate, the thing that you're looking at in that picture, show the screen.
Show the screen.
Yeah, there you go. So is it that plate, or it might be the opposite side of that plate? But you squeeze it. That whole plate is a button.
So that's the trigger kind of thing.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's like a pod with a removable coil in it. It's so weird.
Okay, so it's actually got a coil in it that you can take out rather than the.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Right. I'm gonna try and let me see how I can do this. Right. If I bring my light down to a level that I can manage, and then I bring this arm across here.
Oh, this is where you start pissing around with your second camera, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm going to show you this mod.
Okay.
It's not.
Oh, it's a mod. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because again, I wasn't sure. Knowing the Pandora, I didn't know whether it was natty.
There we go.
That's it. Point the light directly at your second camera.
Oh shit! It needs to go sideways.
It's-
Oh no! Now this thing's in the way.
What's that?
That's the arm that's holding this camera up.
Oh, okay.
Right, that's gonna have to do, boys. How's that? What's that like for quality?
We can certainly see your tube.
Right, if you can see this shit. Right.
All right. Let me get the chat up because I can't see what anything's saying in chat.
So let me get
that is looks like stainless. Was that a Pandora on the top?
No, this is actually a Norris 24. Now, this is made by a company called 666 Mods, a good friend of mine, Martin LaForest. Is that focusing or not? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So this is called the Norris 24. Let me show you actually. It's pretty cool.
Just before you carry on, Chris, can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, yeah.
Is it tinny or weird?
Not
it's a little tinny, but don't blow on it.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
I was going to say, nothing's come up on my chat since I've seen his dad.
No,
they're quite quiet. Yeah, sorry, my microphone just decided to peter out, so I've just had to switch over to this until I can sort it out.
Peter.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the Norris 24, and Oh, I'm not presenting apparently or something. But Cass, can you present me, please?
Oh, sorry, mate.
It's all right.
There we go. Oh no, I
Yeah.
just presented me.
Yeah, that's well done, Kaz. Yeah,
There we
yeah.
go.
Chris.
So yeah, so this is the deck here. It's just two massive fuck off holes and two like I think these are like 2.5 mil grub screws, which is massive for an RD8. I don't know why isn't it focusing. Yes, it's massive for an RDA. Those scrub screws, but yeah, it's got a really interesting feature as well. So this cap here, you can adjust the airflow, right? But you can also turn the cap upside down, and
What?
this lip here cuts half of it off.
You used to be able to do that with the old Goon.
So yeah, like that.
So instead of having it, so you have it. So that means you get the airflow coming under your coils rather than
No.
aimed at the middle.
Well, kind of, yeah, you do. I think you have that sort of adaptation as well. But let me just try and see that. It cuts half of the air hole off.
Okay.
There's like a lip inside. So yeah, it cuts half of the airflow off. It's really cool. It's a really good RDA. It's not. It's a bit. It's a bit if you know kind of thing. But yeah. It's a really nice RDA. It's one of my favourites of all time, actually. It's 24 mil. It comes with 3 different coloured rings in the middle as well. So this is like gunmetal, but there was like a gold and a silver in there as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really nice. So this is the Pandemonium.
That's very pretty.
So it's quite hard to. I can't tell how much you can see of this.
Quite a lot, to be fair, dude.
Right. So this back piece here, this actually is a sleeve. So this back piece here, we're actually getting coloured so that you can see this logo better. But so if you have a look at the bottom here, there's a little arrow. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That arrow corresponds with the centre of that design. And if you line them up right, then you can completely take it apart. No threads, nothing.
That's actually awesome.
So the button, you've got the housing here, and you can unscrew that, and it works like a locking mechanism.
Okay. Kind of old school.
Or you can completely remove it and use it as a.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
This is actually a feature on a lot of the Endless products anyway.
Yeah, but it's still sick.
So that's a lock, so it stops you firing.
Yeah.
So then you take your tube section here. So you see this cut out here. This is so you can put a battery wrap in it and colour the inside of this, the back of this.
Oh, so you can literally change the colour from. Actually, I fancy a green one today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, this isn't what it'll look like, but that'll give you an idea.
Is it the battery wrap that you see, or is it a sleeve?
It's like a little section you put in here where this little lip is.
Oh, I see. Got you. Yeah.
But yeah, so this has got O-rings on it to hold it all nice and neat in place. And essentially, this is so hard to do with this big fucking boom arm thing in a way. So the 510 slots in on the top like this. Oh, there we go. See that?
Yeah.
But you can also take that off, clip another another midsection on, and have a stacked.
Oh,
That's disgusting. What even?
Genius.
So you put that on there like that. You chuck your battery in. You clip the bottom half on like that.
What's holding that all together? Oh,
Nothing.
It's a sleeve that goes over the top, and then the sleeve over the top holds it.
Yeah, so that's like that, and then so you have that on like that. You line the sleeves up. So there's a little pin point here that. So inside the sleeve, I should have showed you this really. There's like a rail. Oh, can you see that?
Towards us.
That pin follows.
Oh yeah.
See it?
Yeah.
So you essentially slide your sleeve down and click, locks together, and there you go.
Genius.
That's crazy. Although, oh, I suppose if the button's locked, there's no chance of you accidentally shorting your battery because it's a hybrid with no RDA on.
Yeah, but even with the RDA on, the button isn't making contact. So what would short it?
The top of the battery against the top of the mod.
Yeah, the top of the battery isn't against the top of the mod. The bottom of the battery is against the top of the mod.
Oh.
So
Okay, fair enough.
So the only place where the positive is resting on top of an insulator. So the whole bottom part is an insulator. Let me show you. Actually, it's probably easier than just trying to explain it. Lost the fucking arrow there. It's so slippery. I've got juice all over it. 2 seconds. Let me dry it off. Right. So there we go. So look, there's a big fuck off insulator.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then it like that's there we go. That's like 4 or 5 mil. So there's no way that battery is making contact. That's why you have to unscrew this to be able to fire it.
So it has to go in negative up.
It doesn't have to, but it will prevent that short risk.
Okay.
But it's literally just as simple as 1, 2, 3.
When are these being released?
I don't know. We're aiming for October X, but we wanted like proper production samples because we've changed a couple of bits on this. Like you can see here. Well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. If I move the light sort of like this, can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah. The gap.
The gap's not there. The gap can be fixed. All I have to do is adjust the insulator, but we don't want to have to keep adjusting it every time you change your RDA. Now, there is the solution of lining the sleeve up as if you're taking it off and just raising it a millimeter, and that blocks it off. But we didn't want that either. So, yeah, the whole purpose... Might be easier if I fucking move this across like that. So, yeah, so the whole point of that is that in focus? No, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole point of having this is so you didn't have to adjust fuck all. You didn't have to screw anything in. You didn't have to do nothing. It was literally click, 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 done.
Okay.
So that's essentially what we're doing at Grimford. And we're actually releasing some RDAs that have this section already built into them. So if I take this apart again, take that off. So they will essentially...
Kind of like with the rigs having the
kind of
the giant thread on the outside of them.
So it'd look like that, and then you'd literally get your mod and just click it on.
That's insane.
It's all right, isn't it?
That's actually crazy.
We did aim to spring load the insulator, lucky, but it became a very difficult process because this is actually we were trying to reinvent the wheel, and we decided that where the fuck is the button? Oh, it's there. So we decided that instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, because I would come up with all sorts of options. So you see this this shape here? It's like 3 parts, and there's like the little semicircles cut into the corners.
Yeah.
Wait, I can fucking show you this close up. What am I playing at? There you go.
There we go.
See those semicircles?
Yeah.
We actually made it so that there was a underneath this brass ring here. We made it so that there was a adjacent semicircle on the inside and had ball bearings running up and down with it.
Okay.
Because we wanted it to have a lot better contact. But actually, the endless buttons themselves have always been good. So I just incorporated the current endless button design, which is this, into my housing.
So is that actually an endless button?
That's a pandemonium button. So this is the button that I designed for the mod with Paul's endless button on it. So it's pretty cool. Pretty different. So yeah, so the assembly, as I said, is a piece of actual piss. You literally just click, 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 and you're done. Oh, my fat fingers. There we go. Done.
And that's it, ready to go. And it's
Yeah. Well.
and once you put your atty on the top, that's what holds it all together.
Well, it doesn't need to. It's already held together.
It's already held. Oh, okay.
There's a locking rail that goes around the sleeve.
So as soon as you twist it, it locks it.
So as soon as you put that outside sleeve,
yeah.
that stops it all from falling out, and therefore it's all locked together. Okay, all right.
Yeah, man.
Smart ass.
And I mean, yeah. I've spent almost a fucking year getting this right.
That's actually pretty. Yeah,
I mean,
again, that's the first mech tube I've seen in a while that I've gone, I want one of those.
Well, the thing is, it's actually original as well, which is nice. It's not just another fucking knurled mod.
I'll trade you a very, 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 very special prototype for your tank channeler.
I might have to find you another one.
Oh, look how dank my clouds look with this fucking light.
Yeah, you disappear completely. That's okay.
But yeah, look, and we also made it. Look how easy this is to lock. Oh, maybe that was a bit of a fail. Look at that.
Oh,
look how good those spreads are. Just lock it with a single flick. So
nice and smooth threads going on.
Yeah. Let me move my shit.
I like that. I really like that. Because that would be awesome with that tank on the top.
It would be very fucking good with that tank on top. Shame I haven't got one of those tanks.
Right. That was fucking awesome. Shall I move on to some news?
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. This is a bit weird because these headphones are so quiet. I can't actually hear
Also, quickly, while you're getting your news up, has anyone fucking heard of this company?
100 Large.
Yeah.
Are they any good? Because I've got a whole pack of them somewhere. I was going to give them away on the show. What have we got here? So we got Do Not Worry, Berry Cold, Fresh Pink of Bel Air,
Fresh Pink,
Banana Haze, Grape Expectations.
Oh God!
And Zest Pest, which makes me sound like that to me sounds like a sexual predator that has a penchant for lemons.
Yeah, and tarts, which is a little concerning.
Oh, I'm so happy with this little fucking camera on the go. Right, have you got your news ready?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Just showing off his PC and everything while he's at it, you know.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on it. Bit of American news to start with. So Arizona have been dealing with a tobacco 21 bill. Oh, let me present. And basically the idea being is that it would raise the smoking age to 21. So SB 1147, which is backed by the parent company of Philip Morris, would raise the legal age for purchasing tobacco and vaping products to 21 and establish fines for violating the law. However, some lawmakers and health advocates are arguing against this bill as it would sidestep efforts to define e-cigarettes as tobacco. Well, obviously they don't want e-cigarettes defined as tobacco. So it says, why would anyone accept a solution to the health crisis we are facing from the very industry that caused it? Senator Heather Carter proposed a separate legislation which would restrict tobacco and e-cigarette usage, and they did this with cigarettes, and now they think they can do this with e-cigarettes. The other side of this is that the bill would remove all city-designated smoke-free areas in or near public buildings and facilities, such as government offices, parks, etc., etc. And according to the review by the League of Arizona Cities, that is according to a review.
Can I just, sorry, before you go off, can you go back up to that second paragraph a minute?
Yep, here.
Why would we accept a solution to the health crisis we're facing from a very industry that caused it? Right. I've got two things to that. Mm-hmm. One, that's a fucking good argument. But also, two, the fact is this solution was offered by people that weren't in the industry that caused the crisis. It was actually, it's been adopted by Big Tobacco as a way of trying to recuperate their lost funds through people giving up smoking. So yeah, I mean, it's a good argument against Big Tobacco vaping products, but it's a bad argument against our industry as a whole.
As far as the American government seem to be concerned, is that the only e-cigarette products that exist are ones created by Big Tobacco, and because they're taking the stance of, well, Big Tobacco caused this, so we're not going to support e-cigarette products, not thinking that actually e-cigarette products exist outside of big tobacco and have done before big tobacco even got on the.
Why don't they only regulate big tobacco's ones then? Fucking hell, save us all a earache.
Well, exactly.
But,
And then,
the thing that really gets to me is the fact that I've never heard that phrase before, and it's such a strong argument against
big tobacco being involved.
big tobacco. Yeah, absolutely. It's so like I watched a Joe Rogan podcast earlier, and he had a comedian on there that was booed off of stage. This is how it was put in the news. It was booed off stage because he was telling really offensive jokes, right?
Mhm.
And in the podcast, he explained that actually 2 people in a whole audience weren't laughing. 2 people were offended. 2 people went and spoke to the organisers, and the organisers removed him. And it was going into all this depth about how he felt bad because he'd obviously offended people when he was trying to be funny. And then he said, when he was outside waiting for his crew to come pick him up, people left, like most of the audience left, and apologized to him and said that no one was offended. You did really well. You were doing an awesome job. I don't know what the fuck the issue was. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it kind of resonated with me when you were saying about this, because it feels to me that like we're treated as a minority, the vaping industry, that isn't big tobacco, that the majority of everything that's being regulated is big tobacco.
Well, it's using big tobacco as the standard.
Yeah, absolutely. But then when you break that down slightly, big tobacco, multi-billion-dollar companies can afford to face those penalties, to face having to pay taxes or pay for stupid amounts of testing and pay for this. And Joe Blogs down the road, who's got a little brick and mortar shop that he's been running, can't afford to face these bills and face all of these laws that are being enforced, that are imposed upon vapors. And I think it's fucking ridiculous, to be honest.
It's almost forcing the vaping industry into the hands of the.
Yeah, you're being judged in the same category as a multi-billion-pound company. It's like I can't remember who said it. It was a very, very famous quote. It's like, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll always be stupid.
That was Einstein.
There we go. Do you know what I mean? That's such. If you judge everyone by the same standard, then people are going to suffer. People are going to.
That leads on to this next bit, which just says misinformation informing policy. It says, as these debates take place, Arizona researchers are wrongly stating the issue of secondhand vapor is the same as that of secondhand smoke. So it's the same issue with secondhand smoke. That secondhand vapor contains all the same chemicals as if you were vaping yourself. It just doesn't. She said that a study from UC Riverside, which found metal and some other particles in e-liquid and the aerosol it produces, although using the word aerosol, while scientifically correct, is also a good way to scare people off.
Yeah, it's a misappropriation of the phrase.
Exactly. I mean, a vapor is technically an aerosol, but also it's not the
It's
same
not
as
a can of
pumping
Lynx.
links.
Yeah.
It goes, I think there's a lot of misperceptions around vaping, that it's harmless. And the more we learn about it and the more we know, the more we can educate people who are vaping about the potential harms to themselves and the other products. So he got the first half right and the second half absolutely wrong. So it's just, they're so split on it. They don't know where they lie because they don't have the information, because they're not willing to look for the information. Right.
And this is Radio 4 did a really good podcast that was basically saying what's happened is a lot of these scientists over. You very rarely hear a scientist going, "Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. What you've been telling me all this time is you're right. I'm wrong. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. Sorry."
Oh my god. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry, I've just had a flashback here. I know I'm interrupting quite a lot tonight. I apologise.
That's all right.
I'm excitable. It's all this Coca-Cola energy. No,
You're just high on sugar, mate.
well, no sugar in it. No sugar. I'm on a diet.
High on taurine.
Yeah, no taurine. But a woman that lives near me sells this, like, I don't know, body lotion or some shit, right? Those people that are always selling over like Facebook and that.
Yeah.
And she said the other day something that really caught my attention. She said it's been scientifically proven to be good at this, and this. She's like, so a lot of scientists are backing it. And she said something like, that they've got no reason to lie. Why would scientists don't do this stuff for money? They do it for like making sure things are good and that.
Like the pursuit of actual science.
Okay.
That was her quote. Or, like,
Okay.
scientists don't do it for money. They do it to make sure like the world's good and that.
That's it.
And when you were talking about
Oh.
that scientific experiment that they conducted when they found
Yeah.
metal in aerosol, all it made me think was they're making the world good and that. It's like, fuck. That should be the phrase we use for any tobacco-related scientific tests that are clearly bullshit.
You're going to love this next article, right?
Oh god, here we go.
All right, so let me present. So, a chemist's advice: don't dry burn your coil.
When was this? When was this?
This was actually 3 years ago.
3 years ago. I was going to say I've seen this.
It's actually quite interesting, and
Yeah.
I haven't spoken about it before, and it's something that I think is still relevant today. So it says a dry burn takes place when a lot of power is applied to a bare coil in order to heat it up and clean it up from manufacturing residuals, and is at times used for alignment and spacing. This we all know. However,
That's actually really well worded. I like that.
isn't it? It says, however, according to specialists, this practice affects the structure of the alloy and of the metal that the coil is made of on the surface, and it may lead to production of some unwanted particles that stick to that word, the aerosol, and end up being ingested by the user. Now, our friend, Dr. Konstantinos Farsalinos, who we have seen many times before, who looked into the matter with the help of a material sciences expert, Pedro Carvalho, the researchers conducted that the practice should not be carried out on any type of coil. So we're not going to get too sciencey because that would be dry. Get it? Coil, dry.
Yeah.
And we're not going to go into the layers of what the coil wire is made of, but we will talk about this.
Sorry, I'm quite interested. Dude. Just pick one of them. Just go with Canthol.
All right, so Canthol is the most common, right?
Yeah.
It says it's an alloy of iron, 70%, chromium 20 to 30%, and aluminium 4 to 7%, which doesn't add up to 100%. That's 104 to 107%, but whatever.
No, it's 94 to 107.
Yeah, 94.
94.
70, 20, and 4. So yeah, it does fit.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It says when heated, aluminium oxides form a protective layer on the surface of the wire. Canthol is one of the rarer alloys used in heating elements that do not allow temperature control by the most advanced mods. Now, obviously, temperature control.
So this is written by a knowledgeable vapor.
Oh, 100%.
And that nichrome is interesting because only nichrome 80 is 80% chromium and 20% nickel.
Yeah.
Because nichrome N90 is 90% chromium and 20% nickel.
But if you go into a vape shop and say, "Can I have some nichrome wire?" that's what they'll give you. Ni80.
Exactly. So Ni200 is actually full-on nickel.
Yes.
So nickel oxide forms when the wire is heated. And this is important because if you dry burn a lot of nickel, it can be quite dangerous. So,
but this is why you don't ever dry burn nickel. One, because one, the resistance is incredibly low. So if you used it on anything other than a temperature control mod, it would fucking either not fire or it would short. Yeah. So it's almost impossible to dry burn Ni200. And also, it's used in temperature control. So you set it to 200 degrees. It doesn't oxidize until 400 degrees.
Well, exactly.
So it's set to 200 degrees because if it doesn't have enough liquid to keep it cool enough to set it below 200 degrees, it won't fire. So actually, that's the only one out of those I'd be genuinely agreeing with this article, but it's a moot point when it comes to nickel.
Well, exactly.
But carry on.
Okay, so it's a stainless steel has been introduced lately to the vapors market. Obviously, this is an old article, so bear with. It says steel is an alloy of iron and carbon. So the stainless steel property of steel is present at least of 13%. It says Cr. I actually think it means the carbon, C.
No, I think it means chromium oxide.
Oh, it might do. Then
chromium. Because if you look at nichrome, the alloy Cr, chromium.
Oh, okay. So they have got it right then.
Yeah.
It says Chromium prevents chromium oxide from forming a protective layer. Some contaminants in the form of trace metals are present in stainless steel. But it says, why is it dangerous? So it says the coating of oxidized material that is formed on the surface can peel off during vaping and be transferred to the lungs. It says particulate matter can cause allergies. Nickel, for example, is recognized for causing skin rashes, itchiness, redness, and is also a carcinogenic compound when combined with carbon monoxide, a product of an incomplete carbohydrate combustion. Hence, this type of toxicity is probably less relevant in the case of e-cigarettes than for combustible tobacco products.
This is fucking actually really informative, really well. This is probably the best vaping article I've ever seen.
Well, it's easy to read. It's not too
Ah,
over the top.
But it's very scientifically accurate and informing. Like what they mean by that coating of oxidized material is essentially the crusty black coils you see that have been vaped for fucking months and not cleaned. And then what they're talking about is not a 2 seconds.
It's not an oxidization layer, is it? It's just a buildup of gunk.
Well, no, exactly. It says, according to a chemist, a dry burn may amplify the normal corrosion process at the surface of the coil. Toxic or carcinogenic effects, a more oxidized form, are improbable since the dose is minimal. Now, obviously, it says an unintentional dry burn may also happen when the liquid runs short in the tank and the cotton is not wet enough. If this happens, one is advised to simply get rid of the burnt coil and mount a brand new one. Now, this seems obvious to us, but if we've got anyone watching that is new, it's simple stuff. But it says similarly, it's not a good idea to reuse old coils since some level of corrosion would have probably already initiated. Have you ever had a coil that you thought this is still going, and it's kind of started to turn a bit brown, even though it looks clean? That's what they're talking about here.
Yeah, but what two of their points that are really
But I've had coils that I've used for a bit, taken them out, put them to one side, and come back to them going, I know that's good because I only used it for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, see the difference is
back in, and it's like tastes like
shit. Well, see the thing is, it's not necessarily talking about the dry burning of the coil. That the oxidized material that they're talking about is a buildup of anything that sticks to the coil. So, for instance, if you dry burn a coil and shit gets on it, and then you use it, it's on about that being coming off. That's the particulate matter that can be toxic. When you go up to like the coating of oxidized material, that's completely different. That's nothing to do with dry burning.
No,
that's to do with the shit that's built up on a coil over time, the black janky coils that you see. And it's not talking about what you're inhaling as a matter of principle. It's talking about what could become dislodged and sucked in with the inhale of the vapor. So that's got absolutely nothing to do with dry burning. It's very scientifically accurate, very, very well written, but it's not necessarily valid. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. Particulate matter can cause allergies. Particulate matter is a really pretentious word, pretentious phrase for what they mean is that you could essentially have an allergy to nickel by vaping it. You could have an allergy to nickel by touching it. So that the particulate matter is technically a fucking ridiculous
if you don't have how much particulates per million you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, in order to, nickel allergies are a lot of the times, while people were buying. Sorry, can you go up a little bit? I'm just want to make sure I get my facts right before I start running my mouth.
Makes a change.
Well, yeah, this is true. Yeah, so I was making sure I had them the right way around. So a lot of people that were vaping had, you know where vapors. This is going to be going 5-6 years back here.
Well, some people used to get wheezy off nichrome, didn't they?
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting to, really. So when people, all of us really, started vaping early on, people were having intolerances to PG levels in e-liquid because they only had high PG, low VG juice. There wasn't anything on the market that was high VG when I started vaping. They'd use aqueous VG, which was like a water-based VG, but it was thin as monopropylene glycol.
Yeah, it was.
So people were having this intolerance to 2PG, and DIY juice makers, DIY vapors, were then going and creating their own high VG juice to combat that issue. And that's why they started making high VG juice. And the same thing happened with nichrome. So everyone went through this journey of discovery. They were finding out all of the different types of wires you could use. They were experimenting. I think hot wires kind of set the boundaries for that. Really, that was a different chemical makeup, and then they went ahead with loads of different wire brands, and some guy went ahead and tested some of the metals in these top secret wire brands and found that they were readily available wires. They were, one of the only companies to ever release a wire and be completely honest about what it was Wire Doctor. They said it's stainless steel, but it's the polishing process we go through to ensure it's clean. There's no residual bullshit, and there's no reason to dry burn it because they go through like a 4-stage polishing process. But yeah, so people were having that issue with nichrome, and it was due to a nickel allergy. So in what they're saying is that vaping it can cause a reaction. It is very, very true. But whilst it's true, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's anything to do with the production of the vapor or the contaminants in the vapor. It's because of the close proximity. And
I mean, I've noticed Johan put in the chat he's got a nickel allergy. I've got a nickel allergy. I don't wear a watch anymore because I blister where my buckle is and things like that.
You sure it's not sweat?
No, it's literally the metal, where the metal bit of the strap touches me is where it.
Why don't you get one with a stainless steel strap, you tit?
Stainless steel does the same thing.
So you sure it's not a nickel? Sure, it's a nickel allergy then?
Well, I've got a metal allergy. Should we put it that way?
So call it a metallurgy.
Yeah,
metallurgy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really impressed with that.
But yeah, I don't have any issues vaping at all. And Johan said the same thing. He's got a nickel allergy, but he can vape NI80, no problem.
Sorry, yeah. Go on, Cass.
So just to finish this article off, and I'll do one more, which is more UK related. It just says it's actually quite. It says in order to check the consistency of a homemade coil and to clean it from manufacturing residuals, a moderate heating of the wire may be more appropriate.
That's not a bad shout. I mean, no one's heating the wire up until it's fucking.
No.
A lot of wire where it's so thin, by the time you pulse it beyond a moderate heating, the fucking thing will just burn a leg anyway.
Well, exactly.
But look what it says above that. That's fucking a really good thing to add as well.
Yeah, it says, despite the above, there is still no reason to think that a dry burn would make vaping worse than smoking. Nevertheless, it does increase the risk of releasing potentially harmful compounds that may be inhaled by the user. So that, they're saying, look, this is a thing, but it doesn't mean it's worse for you. And you're talking very small amounts. So I thought it was quite really, really interesting.
I really like that. Yeah, it's a good article. Can I just ask, have any of you gone through the phase of building your own fancy wires?
No.
So
yes.
So a process that you generally go through in order to straighten wire. When you get a wire off a spool, it's always, like when you get a slinky tangled up, you're fucked. Like once it's tangled, you're fucked. So the main principle I've been going by, and everyone that I know in vaping goes by, generally you'd pull the wire taut, heat it, and then when it cools, it's perfectly straight. Like it was perfectly straight. So we used to.
You stick it in your drill, hold the other end, spin it, and then it's perfectly straight.
I just pull it with the pliers.
No, see, the best way to do it was pull it taut and get a blowtorch and just run it along it.
Okay.
Well, 'cause you're tempering it.
Yeah, but then you'd clean it off to any carbon that's come off of the blowtorch. But essentially, you've already heated that wire up hotter than you would when you're vaping it. The whole wire's red. Do you know what I mean? But
and you've got to be careful. You don't because you're holding it taut. It snaps if you're not careful because you heat it.
Yeah, you don't pull it that hard.
Well,
But do you know what I mean? Though? So essentially, it's any pre-built coils you're buying may very well have already been heated up.
But I find I get better results by quenching my coils when I've rebuilt. Yeah, so
Quench?
I'll get it red hot and just I'll get like a cap of like a bottle cap of liquid and just in that.
Oh, I just stick it under the tap.
Or tap, yeah. And that cleans it off way better than just a dry burn, because you dry burn it is still black.
But
So
see, that's the way we've. Can we go on to? Have you got more news? Or is...
Just one more piece.
All right, because I wanted to go on to Mod Wars Worldwide. Are we familiar with what this is?
No, but
Well,
hold off.
We'll get into that. Yeah, but I'll get into it. Just remind me.
Okay.
Mod Wars.
So let me just share again. 2 seconds. And present. Right. So Camden has earned the unofficial title of London's vaping capital. There is one vape shop for every 14,000 people that live there.
Camden's my favourite place in the whole world as well.
Well, I used to live about 10 minutes away from Camden. And
I used to live about 15, 20 minutes away from Camden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. I love it. It says, so it's rare to take a stroll through London and not see a huge plume of scented vape drifting through the air. It said, and one part of the capital city can claim the unofficial title of London's vaping capital, Camden. An analysis of vape shop location data has revealed that the borough has the highest number of e-cigarette shops in the capital. The borough has 18 vape shops, meaning there's approximately one for every 14,000 people living there, a rate that's far higher than the national average. So it compares.
There's a reason for that.
Well, of course there is. It's full of
Camden's a massive tourist attraction.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do body piercing in a tattoo shop in Camden, and there was loads of tattoo artists, loads of tattoo shops, because there's such a tourist attraction there.
You're not related to the locals, are you?
Yeah, someone tried poaching me from the shop I was working in to do body piercing for them, and I went in and they were using what we used to call tourist ink, which was like a really shit quality ink that was very, very cheap, that would look amazing when it was done, but it would just fade quickly. And and I remember then sort of doing a bit of recon and going around to all these different shops. And I think at one point, there was like 16 tattoo shops in the borough of Camden.
Yeah, it's
something like that, 15, 16. And that was in the main strip, including the shops that go under like the main strip, Camden Lock area, and up just past where I don't know what it's called, the stables.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, when I lived in Camden, there were 2 vape shops. You had a proper Jippo place called Le Vape, and then you had Vape and Vault, which was pretty decent, to be fair, if not expensive. Anyway, so it says it compares to one vape shop for every 20,000 as an average across the whole of the UK. Westminster had one shop for every 14,400 people, and Hammersmith and Fulham had one for every 15,000 people. Hounslow is one for every 67,000 people, so they've probably got one vape shop. And it basically says this UK Vape Store Locator website attempts to map every brick and mortar vape store in the UK. Now, this reminds me of a conversation I had on Facebook a couple of days ago, right? Let me just unshare.
Wait a sec. Before you unshare.
Oh,
that's all right.
Go on.
Around 5.4% and 6.2% of adults currently vape in Britain. Does it mean between 5.4 and 6.2?
I think it probably does.
Not around 5.4 and 6.2%. They're a bit accurate to say around as well. You can't be that accurate and then be so vague at the same time. Like between 5 and 6%, or between, if you're going to be vague, be vague. Be vaguely vaping related. But don't come up with that vague of an answer, but give that specific. Like roughly 1 in 757,261 people. Well, what do you mean roughly? Either it is or it isn't.
All right.
We can see your Facebook.
There we go. Right. Okay. So
Right.
this conversation I had the other day, right, is a bloke was like, I'm part of a vaping drivers group, right? They're all professional drivers and they all vape. And they wanted to come up with a members card that they could take to any vape shop in the country and get a discount. And I said, right, so where's
Can I
the
just
incentive?
pause you there?
Mm.
Vaping drivers.
Yeah, it's literally a group for drivers, lorry drivers, taxi drivers, whoever, who vape.
I'm a driver and I vape. I'm not fucking going to expect a membership card.
Well-
Do you know when you're at school and your mates will say, "Oh, you dropped your gay card"? They're asking for one.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, you get a lot of professional drivers have a lot of various membership cards for service stations, fuel, all sorts of shit, right? But this guy was saying, and I was just playing devil's advocate at this point. I just said, look, why do you get a discount? Why do you get a discount and no one else? And he said, well, if there was a service where we could find any vape shop in the country, the incentive is that we would use their business. It's like, right, so because I choose a business to use, that deserves me a discount. Why does that deserve me a discount? Because I've chosen. It's like, we're a shop and you using our business is not so important to us that we do need to give you a discount in order for you to use it. And I said, I get what you're getting at and having a members card and whatever, and having a service to be able to find any vape shop in the country easily is great. If you're on the road, you're like, right, I've run out of juice, I need to find a vape shop.
But the discount card would only be accepted by specific. So this.
Well, how many?
Because it'd be like specific vape shops would take the discount card, so they would only go to those.
Yeah, but what I want to know is how many vape shop chains do you know that have countrywide shops?
Very
Vaporized,
few,
vaporized, and totally wicked.
pretty much. Maybe Vape HQ.
Never heard of it.
But the point being is, it's like, what entitles you to that discount? It's not the same as an armed services NHS discount, where some places give 10%, whatever, for being in the armed forces.
Do you know what it is? It's a group sponsorship deal without a group.
Basically, yeah.
That's what it is. That's what vape groups have. They have a sort of sponsor that will give them a 10% discount code, and it will be advertised on their page. If they stuck on the side of their fucking lorry, vaporized, I'm pretty sure the cunts will give them a discount code.
Fair enough, but the point is it will only work if everyone takes it on. If only one or two companies take it on, well, then it's pointless having it.
How many people are in this driving members group thing?
The whole point of drivers having a fuel card, for example, is they'd have a Texaco fuel card. It means that when they stop for fuel, they stop at a Texaco petrol station. They don't go.
Yeah, but that's because it's a credit account.
Yeah,
it's like having a fucking Screwfix trade account. You don't go to B&Q for your screws if you haven't got cash. That's how businesses fucking work. That is what they're asking for. Yeah,
if you're a discount card, because it'd be like, oh yeah, do you accept the fish and chip discount card? It'd be like,
their membership cards to those petrol stations and shit aren't for discounts. They're not. You don't get a discount with them. They're trade. Yeah. They're trade. It's like if you're a chippy,
but you get preferential. You get preferential fuel prices because if you didn't, why would you get?
Because it's a trade. It's a credit account. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same as going. But because they buy the fuel. They buy the fuel in bulk.
Have you got a credit card?
I have got a credit card.
Right. What credit card have you got? Barclaycard.
Yeah.
Say for argument's sake, it's Barclaycard. Why don't you use Capital One card, Chandler? Because you don't have a Capital One card. That's what the card is. It's a credit card. It's a credit card for fuel. The same way if you're a chippy and you're building someone's bathroom, you can't afford to fork out for the whole bathroom material costs. You get it on trade price. They pay you, and then you pay off your account. Yeah, that's what it is.
But that's what I'm saying. If you bought one tank at Texaco, one tank at Shell, you wouldn't get the same price. It's because you're buying all of your fuel.
Right. But this is beside the point. The point I was making to this bloke is, right, okay, so let's say it's a members card, right?
I'm fucking angry now.
Why? What is the shop's incentive to give you a discount? Now, don't get me wrong, like if, for example, they're getting free advertising, fine, I get it, right? But I have noticed that more and more is that vapors seem to think that vaping is a right and not a privilege.
Oh, they
Now,
think they're entitled.
most drivers I know earn a shit ton more than I do, and believe me, if anyone can afford it, it's some of those guys.
Yeah, their company's paying for the fuel, the cunts.
Well, exactly. So at the end of the day, and this is what I wasn't having an argument with the bloke. I just said to him,
I
"Look,
would have
where's
fucking chinned him.
where's the incentive for shops, and why do you get an entitlement to?"
What did he say? What did he say?
I'll find it for you actually.
Uh,
A couple of people
a
jumped. One
couple of,
bloke.
a couple
I
of
can't
things
see-
I'm getting stressed about here is one.
I can't see why they would have, or how it could work for every vape shop to be able to accept.
Right. Well, there's a few things regarding, like, you're completely right in that sense. Like, fuck the whole premise. But one, the fact that they're making themselves out to be some sort of biker gang. Like, what are they gonna do? Cut the fucking sleeves off their jumpers and walk around. Oh wait, they've got high visors on. What are they gonna do? Fucking get some Sharpies out and draw a mod on the back. Vaping drivers.
The conversation went to his post. Actually, I'll read you the post. He says, he goes, I'm a member of a professional drivers cloudy vape community group. We are looking at members cards so drivers wherever we are in the UK can pop into a local vape shop and get some sort of discount on producing our members cards. I said, why though? What would be the reason for the discount? And he says, just as an incentive. And I said, what, for drivers to give up smoking? Where's the incentive for the shops? I'm not being obtuse. I'm just trying to reason it out. He said, it's more for lorry and coach drivers who are away from home. We need to know where the local vape shops are to buy products. That is a different service.
That's got nothing to do with discounts.
You might as well just have a vape app that's like the McDonald's app to find the nearest McDonald's on the motorway.
That's like going under the presumption. But that's what Google's for. That's what Google Maps is. You type in McDonald's and it'll tell you the fucking nearest McDonald's. You type in vape shop and it'll tell you the nearest fucking vape shop.
So
that service exists.
That's what we need to do. We need to make an app and
fuck me.
You know, get shops to pay. It would only be the shops that pay us that get listed on our app.
I'm not being funny.
If they show their app, they'd get a 5 or a 10% discount.
Do you know what I mean? We could go ahead and implement their idea and put it and integrate it to every sat nav in the fucking country, so it shows you actively as you're driving vape shops. And do you know what would happen then? It'd piss me off. The same way every time I drive past a Citroen garage, it pings up on my fucking sat nav because it's a Citroen car, and I don't need to know where the fucking Citroen garage is. I don't need it. Why is that there? And I'm trying to look and see which road I'm following. And there's a big fucking Citroen sign in the middle of this fucking screen. Like, I'm so triggered by this. It's unbelievable.
Someone else commented, and they said, I like the concept of a directory of vape shops in their areas. Also, the discount card is good. It's the same principle as the NHS Armed Forces. It's not.
What? But you don't work for the NHS and you're not armed forces.
No, exactly. It says student cards, they're all different, discounts for a load of different shops, etc., etc., etc. It says, I would enter the postcode too. It says, might be, it goes, advantage for the shops is that they will get more trade from people that normally wouldn't go into the shops, not knowing where they are. Now, the point is that I get many lorry drivers who literally come in and said, oh, I Googled vape shops and you guys popped up. So it's not an issue that needs solving.
Oh, and do you know what? More things about this are winding me up the more I think. I should stop thinking. So, what the fuck? So, go in there, yeah, and saying, I want a discount and I'll use your service, right? It's like, mate, you need nicotine. You're out of e-liquid. You don't use us. You have to use someone else.
It's like people that get angry at me because I don't have the flavor they like, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to do now? It's like, I don't know. We're a shop. We run out of stock, and at the end of the day, vaping is a privilege and not a right.
So let me just also point out one more further thing to this.
It's like going into a shop and they've run out of Jaffa cakes. What am I going to do now?
Do you know what I mean? Right. So when choosing a shop that you go to, there's a whole plethora of reasons you'd go to a shop. Customer service, the range of products, blah 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 blah. If there's free shops, right, that sell, I don't know, any liquid, 100 large, right? Free shops sell 100 large. You really like their banana haze, yeah? One of them sells it at $9.99. One of them sells it at $14.99. One of them sells it at $13.99. They're all the two shops that sell it at $13.99 and $14.99 will give you a 10% discount, but you have to use them. You're not going to go and pay £13.50 because you've got a discount when you can get it for a tenner next door. You can't promise loyalty based on a discount when the prices are set by whoever the fuck is selling them.
Well, exactly. And I mean, I have people that come in, and we pretty much run a no discount for any reason policy. We used to, because we used to have more ability to do that, but the way that we change our stock management, etc., we just don't do it anymore. And it's a case of people go, well, I'm buying a mod and a bottle of juice. Can you knock a tenner off that? And it's like, no. Well, I'll just go back to fags then. Fine. You know, like at the end of the day, it is something that is fantastic for replacing smoking.
As Lucky Vape said, try going to Tesco's and asking for a discount.
Yeah, I could walk into another vape shop and go, mate, I work in a vape shop. Give us a discount. Now, I'm cheeky enough to be like, what's the best price? But I fully expect them to go, get fucked, pay full price. I'm not entitled enough to, I mean, I'm doing it because I'm cheeky. I'm not entitled enough to think that I deserve a discount just because I chose that shop. So anyway, I mean, the guy was quite reasonable about this argument and this debate, but it was the premise behind it that thought, well,
it fucking wound me up.
Right, mod wars.
Mod wars. Before his head explodes.
I don't know if I'm too angry to talk about it.
It's revenge for last week.
I apologised enough about last week.
I know you did.
Don't know, I still feel guilty about that.
No, don't worry about it. It's all good now.
So, yeah, Mod Wars. So, Paul Harrison, Maxime Dubé, two good friends of mine. Are you familiar with who Maxime Dubé is?
I am not.
No.
So, he's the owner of Death Wish Mods, Thick Oil, and Wire Doctor.
Right, now.
So, I've been good friends with Max for a number of years. I've got so many good pictures of him in his underwear where he was often my roomie at expos and stuff. And he came over for Expo and he was talking to Paul Harrison and they were talking about what's happened to the industry. And you remember how I was talking about this theory that I had that the whole industry, like the industry, the way it is now is our fault. And we fostered this sort of don't give a fuck attitude. And back when we started, but I say we as if like, but you're both there with me, but I mean, you were vaping, but just not in the same social circles. But so essentially, the culture that we have when I started vaping was very much help everyone. You know, that's what's important. Get everyone off the fags. And now it's like my dick's bigger than your dick. Look what I've got. And you know, there was some of that back then, but you know, it's a bit different. So they essentially set up a Facebook group called Mod Wars Worldwide. And some big owners in the industry, so the people that own AV, the people that own HND, HDNE, people that own Endless, the people that own Death Wish, people that own 666, some old school vapors, Alex Bukaj, who owns what the fuck did he call that tank of his? Churchill. Asylum Mods, Tom O'Connell's there, me, Mr. Pandora, and it's Alex Charalambus. These are all names that meant something in vaping, mean something in vaping. They were like, you know, they were big in the industry. They are big in the industry.
OG vapors.
Yeah, OG vapors, and they essentially set up this group and said we want to make vaping great again, and. Yeah, we got added to this group. A load of other people, old school people, coming out the woodworks. Like I'm talking old school vapors, people I've not spoke to for ages, people that don't vape anymore, and yeah, it's been fucking awesome. I've been going through old posts of mine, finding things that I posted 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and laughing at how ridiculous some of the shit I said is. But there's loads of OG old school vapors that still, a lot of them still vape. They just vape pod systems and Nick Salt. And yeah, we've fucking been smashing it. There's been people putting up cloud checks. There's people Oh, it's been so fucking good. And sort of in the spirit of it, I kind of wanted to maybe go through and just reminisce,
Cool.
talk about things in vaping. So, what was your first ever vaping experience like? And also what your fondest vaping memory is. Now, I know I've suggested this, but my child's crying and my missus is in England, so I'm going to currently go up and sort this child out. But yeah, I want to know like what your first. So talk about some other shit. You must have some other bollocks to talk about for 5 minutes. So I quickly sort this baby out, and then I want to hear it. I want to hear what your first vaping experience was like, and I also want to hear what your fondest vaping experience was. So
All right.
give me 5.
He's gone. He's gone. Well, there we go. He's gone. So he set us up, and then he's just like, yeah, just talk about something else.
Yeah. Set us up. Talk about something else. Do you want to see some Insta?
Yeah, let's do Insta, and then when he comes back, let me just present you. Do
Yeah.
do a couple, and then when he comes back, and then afterwards we'll finish off with some more.
All right. Okay. It's been a quiet week. I've been busy this week, but I did do that. I did see that. What do you reckon? If you're gonna have a birthday cake, you can have a vaping birthday cake. What
Is
do you
that
reckon?
Jay Hayes on top of it?
It looks like it, doesn't it? I'm not sure whether it is specifically.
Oh, okay. What's with the rank old coil on the left?
What looks like what?
It's it is a bit. Yeah, needs a dry burn to get that one sorted.
What did you say? Something looked like what?
Looks like Jay Hayes.
Jay Hayes.
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
But actually, no, I think that's Yoshikawa.
Well, what concerns me the most
Who posted this?
is I don't know. What's it say on the top?
Stuart just said it can't be Jay Hayes. There's not enough drama.
That's a hashtag. That's a hashtag. Go down. It should say. Oh, is that just a screenshot?
It's a screenshot, so I haven't got the rest of it.
See, if you look at that bottle, it says Vaporgate on it, and the owner of Vaporgate's Yoshikawa. Oh, the baby's crying again now. He shut up as soon as I stood up, and now he started crying again. I'm gonna go punch him. I'm not gonna punch him. That's
Okay. Yeah, just no, rubber hammer. No. What concerns me is the fact that there's only 4 candles on there. So
It's for a 4-year-old
so
or a 40-year-old.
It's either for a 4-year-old or they've got a who did the 2 Ronnies. There you go.
Oh,
2
yeah.
Ronnies sketch. There you go.
I like it.
Have you got
I like
4
it.
candles? Anyway, there you go. That was that one. I thought I'd see that one. It's been a week for comedy posts. I quite like that.
Someone spent far too long doing that.
Oh yes, but I mean that is pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, just a quick one. Matches having a go at the SIGs. Yeah, I like it. And I want to know. There seems to be a little bit of a trend at the moment for taking pictures of your mod with your energy drink.
Yeah, what is that about?
I'm like, what? Why? I'm having your mod matching your energy drink can.
I don't get it. Also, why would you have a Supreme mod? It's probably cost you £30,000.
Oh, dear. But also, I mean, why? I would not buy. I wouldn't go. Oh, I've got to have that blue monster just because it matches my mod. I'd just go for the white one as normal.
Are you not a matchy kind of guy?
I go for the taste that I like. If I like the one in a white can, it doesn't trigger me the fact that it's a white can and I've got a blue mod.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Have you ever heard of EDC, Everyday Carry?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the bro version of Everyday Carry, except it's lacking the knives and various key fobs that people seem to carry. It's like, I'm going to the shops. I'm going to carry my flick knife, my military torch, my wallet, my £30,000 watch that looks like everything else.
That looks like a £5 one that you could have picked up off market.
Yeah, exactly. And somehow they've taken a picture of their phone.
Yes.
Oh, and I bought 90% of it on Amazon, and it was all 50 quid. Like, some of it is so pretentious. But this is what that reminds me of.
What am I missing out?
Has it all gone quiet?
No, what am I missing out on?
Oh, we're talking about people matching their mods to their energy drinks.
Oh, fuck. And their Beats X. Fucking hell.
Oh, mind you,
Surely you're matching your energy drinks to your mods. And I'm not being
Yeah.
funny. That one up in the top left-hand side, that coffee monster. What the fuck has that got to do with Jamaica's flag?
Yeah, no.
That's got
Yeah,
nothing to do with it. The Supreme one is that's like a cream and red, and that's white and red. So that's not even the same color. The other one's fucking nothing to do with it. The only one that looks remotely related is that the bottom left.
is it just me, or does the coffee monster sound like a character from Sesame Street?
A coffee monster. What, a bit like Cookie Monster?
Yeah, a little.
Have you ever had coffee Monster Energy?
No, never,
like energy
never
drink.
seen it. I've never seen any. Well, I may have seen that one on the bottom right, number 4.
I've never seen that one. I've never seen any of the other 3 apart from that top left one. But it's not that exact one we get in the UK, and it's definitely an import. Sorry, my mic's turned left. It's definitely an import, but they used to sell it at Weatherspoons. So one day I was out for a drink with my at the time girlfriend and her dad and her sister, and I was drinking Jack Daniels and Coffee Monster, and it was fucking amazing. It was like Baileys that didn't taste like shit.
I like Diddy says he wants to. Anyone think of a mod that matches PG tips?
Yeah, and I said underneath it, I think anyone that used the fake caravan would finish. Here's looking at you. The what's that zebra wood mod that someone made? I can't remember who made it.
No,
Never mind. Anyway, carry on.
There you go. I saw this. Todd has posted it, and this is the first time in a long while I've seen a squonker and gone, ooh.
Why? It looks like they missed where the hole was supposed to be.
I don't know. It just, I think that second hole at the top is so you can use the locking mechanism. So you can lock it. You've got access to the bottle. You've got a hole.
The bottle.
You've got a hole at the bottom for your battery. Although it does look unfinished, doesn't it?
It does.
That bottom bit of the.
Oh, do you know what it looks like?
Because there's no.
It looks like it looks like the sole of a New Rock pair of New Rock boots.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
Hideous.
But yeah, no, I just saw this new sunbox and thought, oh, that looks a little interesting. And it just caught my eye. That was all. I just wondered what your opinions would be on that one.
Not a lover of it, if I'm honest.
No.
No, you know what it reminds me of, like that weird military material that you get, mate, that's like non-cracking plastic. I can't think what it's called.
It looks like the aluminide, doesn't it? It looks like a 3D printed aluminide, but I don't think it is.
Alumide. Aluminide.
Right, next.
So, while I was looking at mods, TFX have brought out this.
I take it this isn't Turnwood FX.
Turnwood FX. Yeah.
So what's the Cali for?
That is the name of the mod.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because TFX isn't based in California.
No,
that looks expensive.
It probably is, yes, knowing Scott Bonner. So yes, it's probably not going to be on the cheap side, and that is going to be a DNA board that goes in there, I think.
Was it 75C or something?
75C, I think. Don't quote me on it, because obviously the boards aren't.
Mark was looking for one of those.
He didn't want a squonker. This one's going to be a squonker.
Oh, ruined it. Next.
Oh my god. All right, okay, fine. Coil of the week. Look at that.
That looks like it would actually fit in the cap as well.
It does, doesn't it? It's just so clean. It looks like it's actually had the holes chiseled out of a solid piece of metal.
I like it. That's pretty.
Yeah, I like that one. It just caught my eye and I went, ooh.
What's that called? Triple framed alien fucking Clapton.
Staple staggered.
It's going to be a quad because there's 4 wires in that.
There's a quad Clapton staple staggered dragon
Used.
fused.
I don't care what it's called. It looks all right. But how many wraps have they got?
Did any of you guys ever see that joke tutorial about wrapping a coil? And I can't. I think it was Grim Green did it with someone else, and it was called the Hellfire something coil, Hellfire gargoyle coil.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, you've got to like hammer the wire, and you've got to like mash it up, and then and you have to run it through the cotton to get it conditioned to the cotton that you're going to put in it. And
Oh yeah.
Well, I actually watched. There's a magician that I like watching who does live, like he does a thing called Fix Your Trick every Monday, and he basically you submit the trick to him on Reddit. He gives you tips on how to improve, which I thought was really cool. And he vapes, and I've been talking to him quite a lot. And he does it. He's got a trick. Have you heard of the trick Raise Rise? I'm asking you, Chandler.
Razor eyes.
Raise Rise.
Go on, explain it. I'll probably
It's
know.
a magic trick where you put a card in the bottom of a deck and it works its way to the top.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So he worked with the guy that released the trick, and he re-released it as his own product, like with his own spin on it.
Yeah.
And so I was looking it up on YouTube. I didn't know because he does a lot of free tutorials. So I looked to see if it was one that he was selling or one that was just like on YouTube. And someone was like, so and so's thingy explained, like revealed, and they had like a thumbnail of him, and I was like, oh shit, maybe someone's like broken down this and released it as a tutorial. I thought, cheeky bastard. So I watched it anyway, hoping I'd cotton on how to do the trick. And some guys made a really like obviously fake but
Tutorial.
yeah, like a really terrible one where he's got like invisible thread, but it's not invisible, and he's like, and it's like intentionally shit.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking funny, and that kind of reminds me of that. There you go, Hellfire gargoyle hoof coil.
honestly, it's one of the best things I think Grim Green's ever made.
It reminds me of that video, that tutorial.
All right, next.
Mad. Right. Okay.
Actually, I was thinking about inviting him on to the show.
Who?
The Xavier Spade, his name is. He's a quite famous magician, but he's a vapor as well.
That name sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to Google it now.
He's very well known. Do you know who Chris Ramsey is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the same sort of category as him. He's a very cool guy. He streams a lot on Twitch, so I watch him play in Overwatch. I don't like Overwatch, but I like him. And I watch his YouTube show. So it'd be interesting because he's already used to casting on YouTube. Whether it'd be interesting.
Does he look anything like? Wait a sec. 2 seconds. I just got to stop you presenting.
Yeah.
So does he look anything like this?
No.
Isn't he from Game of Thrones?
No, that's Jim Carrey as a magician.
Okay.
The Adventures of Burt Wonderstone.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
No, the incredible Burt Wonderstone. It's just hilarious.
Is it?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Carry on, Chandler.
I saw this and I was gonna. Chris, did you take any vaping wedding photos?
Apart from a selfie with you, no.
No. I just thought, who would take a photo of themselves vaping on a wedding photo?
To be fair, a lot of people are like they get confused between the terms advocate and fan or hobbyist, and there's very much a difference between having next to no input into the industry as an advocate and being a hobbyist vapor. But people get overly excited about it, and I'm not being funny, but going back to that Mod Wars Worldwide, I've taken some mad vaping photos and mad videos over my sort of 6-year journey. So sort of a year into my sort of vaping, so to speak, if my missus vape, then we probably would have ended up taking a picture like that. So I really want to take the piss, but actually in hindsight, looking back at some of my
Probably better not.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't judge him. It's not the worst photo, apart from like his looks like he's blowing out a cloud. Hers looks like she's being teabagged by a ghost.
Next. Oh, okay. So I haven't made that one bigger. There we go.
Fucking hell.
Have you seen the state of that?
Is that a Tesla?
I don't know what the mod is.
That looks like a PWM that someone's made.
This guy has taken a few pictures of the inside. It's got a board in it.
Has that just been dropped in a
can't-
puddle?
Is there a picture of the side again? Oh, yeah, see that on the bottom left there? It looks like a PWM dial.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
That looks like someone. Again, sorry, I'm going back to that Xavier Spade again. But I was talking to him about like vaping and how things have changed in the industry in the UK, and he was telling me that he was actually going to do a live lecture for Penguin Magic. So no, Murphy's Magic, one of the biggest magic companies in the world. He was going to do a live lecture, and he had a bottle of e-liquid burst in his bag all over his shit. All over his props, all over his cards, all over his everything. And that looks like someone's burst a bottle of e-liquid over it.
I couldn't work out whether it's e-liquid that's inside it or whether the batteries.
It's vented. Look at the burn marks on the top.
I don't know. It might just be scummy.
I couldn't tell whether it was scummy and fell apart.
If you look at the pattern of that mark from the bottom left positive sign to the top right positive sign, that's liquid.
It's arced between the two and vented it.
No, I don't think that. I think that's just liquid damage, and it's been left in a cupboard, and the liquid's leaked all into it, and it's just sat there for months.
Yeah, maybe.
Like if you look at the sticker that's got that liquid all over it, that's just that's just a sticker. If a battery had vented in there, one, that plastic surround would have melted, and two, that sticker would have been burnt. But
true.
It doesn't look like anything's vented. It just looks like some other mods that look like that are in the shed. They've just sat on the shelf covered in e-liquid for about 2 years.
Oh, but what he's actually done is spruced it up. Look.
Well, that is pretty.
It makes it look so much. I wish he'd put some.
Can you jump back a bit and jump forward again?
You know, he's turned it into a 2 battery there by the looks of it. Oh no, it was a 2 battery. So I thought it was a 3 battery.
Jump it ahead again. Yeah, a lot of it's new components, but it looks nice.
Yeah, I wish he'd put some more photos of the finished version. There's just this one, but yeah, I just like the progression. This is how manky it is, and look what I've done. Right. Okay, last bit. There's some news. Okay, this was posted in Facebook, and Richard had lost his SVB mod in a field. He dropped it, lost it, fell out of his pocket or his bag or whatever, and he thought it was gone for good. He managed to actually find it by using that magnet there on the left.
Good thing it wasn't stainless steel.
Yeah, well, the best bit is it wasn't him that found it. What he did was he put it on the collar of his dog and let the dog run around the field.
That's amazing.
That's so lucky. Because the dogs normally would move too fast for the polarity of the magnet to kick in and a brisk swift past it. But also, dogs tend to have a pattern of running through familiar territory.
Yeah.
So if he'd gone with a dog through that field a lot, it'd probably stick to its natural route.
But I think what's happened, obviously dogs have got a good sense of smell. What is it about vaping? It smells. I reckon he'll have gone to it.
That dog's not sniffed out fucking cucumber and watermelon e-liquid, and then picked up the collar, bit the fucking magnet and dangled it. Got it for you, Dad. Nah.
No, he'll have just gone to it and gone, oh, what's that? Sniffed it.
Oh, you're the sort of person that takes...
Because it's dipped his head down, it's picked it up on the magnet.
Take this geezer's ingenuity and give credit to his dog. Fuck off. This geezer thought out of the box and he did a good job, and you're trying to give the credit to the dog. Fuck off.
No. Credit to it. So yeah, and then our Craig Nicholas put this up.
Oh, it's like that thing last week about a geezer that fucked his dog. It's like the polar opposite today. Nothing's going in the dog's ass.
Shall we reminisce?
Yeah.
All right. Shall I start with my original, my vaping origin story?
Yes.
You can unpresent me now as well.
Oh yeah, good call. I always forget to do that. Right.
Yeah.
So, basically, I was smoking 35 a day. I was on tour a lot, so I did a lot of smoking, and I decided that time was enough to give up. I picked up one from, I don't even remember the company. It was a nice little green pen thing. It had a spinner on the bottom of the battery, so I could adjust it up and down. And then I decided, you know what's going to look really awesome on this thin Ego battery? An EVOD Mega Tank. With the beauty ring, obviously. And I used to vape 24 milligram watermelon from some random unbranded range, and it wasn't shit. It was all right, actually, to be fair, but I vaped that for a while. And then I discovered sub-ohming, bought myself a Kanga sub tank for the grand old price of $34.99 and put 18 milligram Element Pink Lemonade in it. Because at the time I was so convinced that only the strongest nicotine would get me off the cigarettes. And they didn't do a 24 milligram in the Element Pink Lemonade, so that's all I vaped. Did that for ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and then eventually bought. Do you remember that the MVP3, the one that had the phone charger cable in the bottom? Yeah, bought myself one of them.
IPv3.
No, MPV3.
No, I'm not sure.
But it had a USB socket, and then you could pull this rubber thing out the bottom, and on one side it had a mini USB, on the other side it had a lightning cable. Used that. I killed 2 of those. They were faulty or something. Something was wrong with them. So I killed 2 of those, and used that, and then just sort of went from there. And I ended up buying a Smok M80, and at my very first vape jam, I bought the what was it? The Flawless Production RDA for about 35 quid. And that's kind of where the main journey started for me.
Like, whilst Chandler starts telling his story, I want you to go onto Facebook, type the word vape in search, then go to posts by you, go to the year you think you started vaping, and try and find the oldest post that you made on Facebook about vaping.
Okay. So you just said in the search bar?
Yeah, just type in vape.
Okay.
And then on the left-hand side, click posts from, and then click you.
Oh, God. You got to remember, I've been posting about this show for 8 months.
Yeah, I'm talking. No, but there's an option. If you go down, it says date posted, then just select the year that you think you started vaping. If you know the month, then you can narrow it down to the month as well.
Right.
Right. So I've narrowed it down to November 2013.
Oh, I got pictures from the first day I got my rig. I've got to go older than that. Oh, Christ. Still loading them.
Wow.
This could take a little while. It's a shame you can't filter it. Alright, I'm getting there. I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah, so Chandler, go on, Chandler.
Me? Okay. Mine's relatively boring. I was supposed to give up smoking when my first daughter was born, and didn't. So when my second daughter was born 5 years later, that's when I thought, right, I need to give up vaping, give up smoking. And this was before bricks and mortars existed. So I hunted around on the internet and found out that Mirage e-cigarettes were based in Sheffield. And I just sent him an email and said, can I pop round and have a look? And he went, all right. So I did, and bought a ridiculous cigar-like that worked much better. The ones where you'd got the bridge on it, and the filter had got a little bit of cotton in there, that you just drip some juice in. It just works so much better if you direct drip straight onto the bridge. And that is what I started on, pretty much.
Incredible.
Wow.
So, yeah, I basically, me being an old fart, it was like I'm not ordering online. And the main reason that I didn't want to order online was because my missus had told me not to get one of those newfangled e-cigarettes, because all that will happen is that you'll just get addicted to those instead. To be honest, she was right. But I'm not smoking. So that was why I wanted to actually go somewhere and buy it, because if I ordered it online and it came in the post, she might actually find out that I'd bought it.
So her seeing you use it wouldn't be a giveaway?
Oh, I didn't. It was a good 8 months. 8 months, not quite a year, I don't think, but it was a good 8 months before I fessed up and said, okay, I've stopped smoking, but I'm using one of these instead.
I found the earliest picture, which is April 27th, 2015. I had to go to Instagram.
Oh yeah, if we go to Instagram, I've got older ones. I was on about Facebook.
Yeah, the oldest one on Facebook, it didn't go back far enough. So here we go. Wait a sec.
Let me try and find my
There we go.
Instagram one.
So that's the MVP3 with what was then a very new Kangatech sub-tank. And it says, having a vape at Epic Studios in Norwich, mini with the Nankara e-juice. Don't even remember what that liquid was.
Okay, now.
And that was 211 weeks ago. So that's, what, over 4 years ago.
Bloody hell.
And that was probably, I'd already been vaping 2 months by the time I got that. So there we go. Good
I was
times.
vaping. I'd been vaping 3 years before I got a sub tank,
Nice.
and it was a Kangatech sub tank. It was when that came out.
Was it the Plus though, the one where you had the giant screws in the top of it?
No, it was. It's here. That one.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm not sure when that came out. So
my vaping origins started when my missus fell pregnant with my son. So
seems to be a theme, doesn't it? Babies.
Yes.
And, yeah.
So he's 5, and this was 9 months before he was born. So 6 years ago, essentially. The oldest post I've got was, I think, my 3rd e-cigarette, and this was 2014. The other 2 I used to death. I think I started in like February 27 to 2013. So this was my this is like my 3rd or 4th.
Oh.
Do you see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Bob Marley. Nice.
And my caption was, "This is supposed to stop you from smoking. Good choice of advocate."
Oh, just out of random curiosity. Sorry to interrupt you there, Chris.
No.
Would anyone like to see what my old workplace used to look like? On the sort of thing that I would do. Let me quickly show you. Because I'm on my Instagram and I've gone back many years.
So here, while I'm still presenting, this is like from April 2014. So this is when I had a collection at this point. Cleaning them out.
Nice.
So I had,
Very nice.
I think 4 batteries at this point, and this was me cleaning out my collection. Cleaning the E-Cigs, and then hashtags were E-Cig, Shisha, Atomizer spelt like an American, Clearomizer spelt like American, hashtag Vape. Oh, what a cringe.
All right, let me show you this quickly. So this was the mixing desk I used to work on regularly. Massive thing. That was good fun. That was a festival called the Secret Garden Party. Then I used to take a lot of pictures of mixing desks. It was just the thing. Just to prove that I really was a sound engineer. Wait, we scroll through a lot of this stuff. Ah,
God,
lots
you
of
have
pictures
long
of
dyed
me.
black hair. That's hilarious.
Yeah, this is touring me. This is what I used to look like 5 years ago. There we go. That picture in the middle, that was taken in what is called the tour bus graveyard, where tour buses go to die. There's about 300 touring sleeper buses in there, all broken, and they just get ripped up for spares. Yeah, so it'd be this sort of thing,
Man.
just doing random shows and gigs and stuff. There we go.
You've been boarding for 5 years,
Oh mate, it's been awful.
and you're finally coming to terms with it
I
this
don't,
week.
this was just after I cut my hair short. So
Yeah, no,
from long here to there the next day. See?
What does the caption on the next day say?
I don't know. Let's have a look. Finally, my hair is behaving itself. Beard is too. Let's do this show. There we go. Anyone remember that juice?
Yeah.
No.
Fury by Animal.
Okay.
Strawberry Laces.
See, I've got I found one of my old my oldest Facebook post. And I was
That'll
already
make you cry.
Noisy cricket.
Yeah, look what's on top of it though.
yeah. What was that even called?
The Royal Hunter.
Royal Hunter. Yeah, they did a mini version of that was about the same size as that brass bit at the top. Horrendous.
There you go. There's a drip tip fit for you, Chandler.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, I like that. Could do
And
with tapering off a bit at the top, but, you know,
There you go.
can't have it.
Can anyone find me this juice anymore?
Doubt it.
Golden ticket.
Let me-
Chocolate milk.
I'm gonna get my Instagram back up as well.
Incredible.
Right.
Anyway,
Going deep diving through our own old Instagram.
My Instagram's not that old. I'm not even bothering.
So there we go. Not now. Let's go to my. Right, we'll just get scrolling back. So yeah, my oldest.
Elliot can get golden ticket.
Some of these posts are
God.
fucking cringy as shit. Alright, I'm gonna go back and oh, this brings back so many memories. I'm quite enjoying actually looking back at these. I'm gonna go through some of them with you lot
Oh my
in
lord.
a minute.
what we don't finish today, we will pick up again next week because we're still without Mark, so we can do whatever the hell we like.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So this is my oldest Facebook post.
How do you look for your oldest? Can you do it on your phone? Because I'm gonna have to
Dunno.
try and remember what my fecking password is.
This is me just talking shit. I don't even know what that is. That's a Cloudport T8, I think. And I don't know what tank that is.
How old are you there?
Oh.
Like 26?
23. 24.
Oh my god. Do you know? I've just worked it out. I will have been vaping for exactly 9 years, pretty much on the 200th show.
So
That the 200th show is pretty much spot on when I will have been vaping for 9 years.
and look,
That's
look,
crazy.
there's my little vape tin. Hannah Mods 30 watt.
Oh, do you still have it?
Somewhere probably.
Can I have it?
Yeah, if I can find it. Check that out.
Oh my god, that looks like a garden fence that you've
It
just.
fucking was. I was trying to like do something original, so I was making all these weird and wonderful coils, but they didn't really work out. Let's have a look at some of these. Oh, it's got gangster music playing. It's quite a good
Oh,
build,
man.
that. Considering
You've actually-
that was what.
You've got fancy coils, but you've actually wicked it.
Well, look, there's my clone collection. Look at that.
Oh my lord! No
Well,
clones.
some of them are authentic, but that was fucking. Yeah, like look at
Wow.
that.
Wow.
That's like a 6 rep 20 gauge. Look how proud I was of this big, big crowd. But this is where I started getting. Look at that. Look. Fucking leaning. Yes, these are. Look, I had a fucking Pokeball.
Oh my god, you've got mods all over. Jesus. How many?
I had fucking shitloads. I've still got fuckloads. But this was a coil inside a coil inside a coil.
Oh, fucking.
So
Wow.
it heated it up in 3 stages. So by the time that
The hot
Oh.
out. So by the time the outer one had got hot, the inner one had fused itself.
well, kind of. I don't know. I was just
Gee.
fucking about. Like, there's so much. Look, there was
Wow.
some of them.
I'm looking at the mod collection I've got at the minute, thinking
How many
I've
of
got
those
2.
hexes were storm boxes?
What's the storm box? What?
The hex
like,
clone.
no, none of them.
Uh,
Look how different I look there. There was actually a cool video of that event. I don't know if it's still Oh yeah, this is it. So this was Vape Fest 2015. This was us in a custom vapes tent. That's it. But yeah, that was when you could only do 15-second videos.
incredible.
So yeah, this is when Thick Oil first come out. Got some some fucking mad building. This I was fucking so proud of this. I had this like custom made. This is one of a kind. I've still got this as well.
Wow.
That's nice.
I've still got that.
I mean,
Yeah.
still awesome now.
It
Sorry,
needs a fucking polish, but
If you want to send me your Hannah Mods 30 watt, and I'll pay you the postage for it.
look at that. That was
Don't pay
fucking
you.
beast back in the day. Oh yeah, so I've still got that. I've still got this one. This was a one of one. I've still got 3 or 4 empty boxes actually. They're probably look, there you go. That's a better picture. Look at that. That was my juice line as well.
Nice.
Fucking now, this is bringing back so many fucking memories. Oh, check these bad boy trainers out.
Jesus.
Still got them as well.
Oh my lord!
One of my pals like, what the fuck?
With wings on, that is a little bit chintzy.
I like them. So where's the boxes? I had a bunch of boxes. Look at this.
Oh, man.
This got featured on Vape Porn, and all it was, that's my kitchen side. I just photoshopped badly, like a field.
That's your kitchen counter. Love it.
This one, this is some pictures I was taking when I first got a macro macro lens.
Nice. Oh, Chandler, did you ever use a Kato punch?
Look, there you go.
No. I nicked. I borrowed the pillar drill.
Amazing.
Because I worked in a school, and I just said to the technology teacher, "Can I borrow your pillar drill? Will it drill through this?" He went, "Yeah. What do you want to do that for?" Can I do it? And he went, "Yeah, right, okay."
If we've got any mod makers in the chat, someone give me a message. So I've still got these boxes, both acid etched. They cost me 80 quid each. Just empty boxes. If someone could turn one of these into a mod, I'd be very, very appreciative. I've got a picture, I think, of all of them together. Look, this 800 likes I got on this. Well proud of myself. I got featured in Vape Porn and loads of other fucking.
So you were that guy.
Yeah, I was that guy.
Oh dear. Right, I reckon we should continue this nostalgia fest next week because this could be a lot more fun.
I'm nearly at the end of mine, to be honest. This is when I went off of it, right? So I got sponsored by Rogue. I had a few Rogues. I had like this one. I had this one, and I went to Expo, and I spent something like 375 quid on another one, and then I got kicked off the team the day after I bought it.
What?
So yeah, I kind of fell out of vaping then. This is made by a friend of mine. Oh, these are fucking. I'm literally like right near the end of my Instagram. This is when I was obviously bringing out the Pandora, just like the prototypes and like when I first set it up. This I remember photoshopping this, being well proud of myself as well.
Nice.
Pandora is coming, and then Yeah, and then this is pretty much it. That's it. And the last thing I've got on there is this. I'm actually really proud of this as well. This is recent. You can watch this, and we'll leave you on this.
I'm not actually looking. I found my own. Okay.
So, Chris, why didn't you release a box called Pandora's Box, and there was a 50% chance it would randomly vent on you for no reason?
Well, see, I called it the Pandora because of the box. I designed it to be like the Hellraiser puzzle box.
Okay.
Well, I actually really liked. There's a chili sauce that I'd got that was it was like 15 million Scoville units. It came in like a really nice ornate wooden box that looked a bit like this. So I designed this to look like that. I've got a tattoo of this.
That's sick.
On my chest, but yeah, that was why it was called Pandora's Box, because I'd been Newton Faulkner. Fun fact about Newton Faulkner: so I went out on a night out with him, and I was one of only 14 people, I think, that he followed. I don't know how many people he follows now. It was liked by 17 people. I swear, there we go, liked by him. So he now follows 643, but I am one of those. I was one of the first 14 people he even followed on Instagram. I'm not going to go through all 600 to find myself, but I am in this list somewhere.
Awesome. Right, I think that about wraps it up for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you are a new watcher, please subscribe to the channel. We do this every week. There's sometimes other shit that goes up. Mark doesn't do it every week though. He's in Florida. Well, no, actually, Mark does do it every single week. He deserves a holiday.
He's probably more reliable than all of us.
He's probably on a roller coaster right now.
He's logged on. He's logged onto. If he hasn't left a thumbs up on that video when he was watching earlier.
Well, we've got a thumbs down, so it's probably him.
Chandler, are you staying around for hangouts at all?
I'm going to have to disappear. My young'un is not particularly well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disappear, and I also don't know how to set up the second hangouts. So,
okay, then.
Have fun. But thank you everyone for watching. We will be here at 8 p.m. ish next week. It will just be the three of us again, but we're going to have some good times. And
yeah, any mod makers that watch this though, hit me up about those blank boxes. I need them sorted.
Yeah, do that. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.
See you later. Bye bye.